Israel has developed its own mobile air defence system, the Iron Dome, with financing from the US. There are more than 169,000 active Israeli military personnel and 465,000 reservists. Israel has significant land power with more than 2,000 tanks and hundreds of artillery. Its arsenal also includes 339 combat-capable aircraft, including fighter jets. Well, to help us unpack a lot of this, we're joined now by Elias Hanna, who is in Beirut. He is a retired Lebanese General and a military analyst. Thank you very much for your time, sir. First of all, when we run through that list of the capabilities, the military capabilities of Israel, how worried should Hamas and those living inside Gaza be right now?
I mean, they have to be worried, but they have chosen to go into the offense because this is the first time they waged offensive campaign inside occupied Palestine. This is the first time because now they are measuring their success that they are going into occupied land and they're fighting, and they were preparing and planning to stay and fight in the near abroad of Gaza. However, they have really they have to calculate. I mean, different scenario, because when you go to war, you plan for the worst case scenario and you hope for the best. So they have had in their mind that at one time they have to withdraw to Gaza and waiting for maybe big operation, land the invasion for Gaza. So they have to be prepared for that. As far as logistics is concerned, as far as tactics is concerned, and bringing and pulling the Israeli IDF into Gaza, it's like something very dangerous for Israel. However, when you have like this emergency cabinet and calling like 300,000 troops and then massing these kind of tanks and armored vehicles around Gaza, it means that there is something is coming.
Just staying with Israel, I mean, they were clearly surprised by what happened on Saturday morning, and we heard from Israel's military chief of staff just a short time ago. He said, we will learn, we will investigate, but now is the time for war. What exactly do you think that Israel will be trying to achieve in the days now before a potential escalation into the next phase of this war?
I think that there must be some proportionality. I mean, this surprise and this losses for Israel, intelligence failure, they have to do something at least equal in order to erase all of that. So maybe there is three main objectives: dismantle Hamas or destroy Hamas, then freeing the hostages, and then maybe trying to avoid collateral damage, which is not the case today. So these three objectives are really contradictory with each other. You know what I mean? So It's like a war and trying to really dismantle Hamas or paralyze Hamas in Gaza.
As we've seen over the last few days, there has been a huge build-up of troops along the border with Gaza. From a military point of view, what would happen if Israel was to send ground troops into Gaza? What would play out from that moment on?
I think maybe we are witnessing now the first phase, which is really softening the ground, preparing the ground. This is the first one, hitting like the center of gravity of Hamas, all infrastructure, and pushing the people to go toward Egypt, maybe to this corridor, humanitarian corridor. This is the first phase. The second phase is maybe going into Gaza, but before going into Gaza, they have to go by force. Then they have to bypass the mines. So they have to bypass the anti-tank weapon and then maybe the tunnels. So, however, I think that the Israelis will choose maybe according to some articles and analysis, that maybe they will try to go and divide Gaza in the middle. Because in Gaza, if you want to do something, you have to look into three main pillars. Demography, where is demography? It's in Gaza City, I mean. You have to look for topography and geography. Maybe in the middle, near Deir al-Balah, from the Gaza border into the coast to the Mediterranean Sea, there is like 6 kilometers. According to some analysts, maybe Israel will try to divide Gaza into two parts. However, going into Gaza, can they stay inside? What would be the theory of victory for Netanyahu? Hamas, what is after Hamas? So this is the whole issue now. Maybe it's a little bit blurred.
Yes, and it certainly is. Now, as we know, Hamas is holding a number of Israeli captives. I mean, how does that affect what could happen from a military point of view?
I mean, there will be a hindrance for the Israelis to go inside. And maybe the Americans are sending with more military means to Nabateem airbase in Negev. They are sending some troops of the Delta Force. These kind of Delta Force, they are specialized in freeing hostages. Would these guys participate? I don't think so. And maybe they will be like advisory. However, Hamas can use these hostages maybe as a human shield. They put them and distribute them in many issues. And it depends on Israel. We'll go and hit these targets. I mean, there is in Israel like the protocol of Hannibal. When a soldier is kidnapped and you see him, it's better to kill him as well as the kidnapper, because a dead soldier is better than a hostage.
Make sure to subscribe to a channel to the latest news from RDZ World News.